Have you ever felt like the world was too big to understand? Or like you were stuck in a cycle of routine, day in and day out? I did. For years, I lived in the same place, went to the same job, had the same conversations, and felt like I was missing out on something bigger. Then one day, I decided to do something drastic. I packed my bags and set off on a solo journey around the world, a year-long adventure that would change everything I thought I knew about myself and the world. Now, looking back, I want to share what I learned during that transformative journey, not just about the places I visited, but about myself, the people I met, and the life-changing realizations that came from stepping out of my comfort zone. When I first started planning my trip, I didn't really know what to expect. I had no grand plan, no specific destination in mind. The idea was to travel wherever the wind took me, to immerse myself in the unknown, and to truly experience the world. My first stop was Thailand, a place known for its vibrant culture, beautiful beaches, and delicious food. But what struck me most was how welcoming the people were. In a country I had never been to before, I was greeted with open arms, and I quickly realized that the world wasn't as scary or unfamiliar as I had imagined. People are people, no matter where they come from, and there's a shared humanity that connects us all. As I spent weeks exploring the bustling streets of Bangkok and the serene islands of the south, I started to notice a pattern. Every new place, every new face had something to teach me about them and about myself. Traveling solo was a whole different ballgame. It was liberating, but also intimidating. There were days when I felt completely alone, wondering if I had made the right decision. Yet in those moments, I discovered something profound: the art of being comfortable with discomfort. In Japan, I felt completely out of place. The language barrier, the customs, the sheer difference in lifestyle. It was overwhelming. But that discomfort pushed me to learn more, to adapt, and to see the beauty in the differences that initially seemed so foreign. I learned how to communicate without words, to respect traditions that were unfamiliar to me, and to appreciate the simplicity in daily life. One thing I realized is that being uncomfortable is a crucial part of growth. You can't grow if you stay in your comfort zone. The world is full of challenges, but it's also full of opportunities to learn and grow if you open yourself up to them. One of the most surprising aspects of my journey was how connected I felt to people from all walks of life. In India, I spent time volunteering in a rural village. The conditions were tough and the work was grueling, but the sense of community and shared purpose was unlike anything I had ever experienced. It was there that I learned the power of human connection. I met people who had so little, yet were willing to give so much. The generosity and kindness I encountered were humbling. I realized that the world isn't divided by borders or wealth. It's divided by the way we perceive each other. We are all human, striving for the same things: love, happiness, and belonging. The experiences in places like India and later in countries like Kenya and Brazil reaffirmed this idea. It was during my travels that I realized the incredible potential for connection we all have, if we let ourselves truly connect. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn during my travels was to be present. In today's world, it's easy to get lost in the noise, constantly worrying about the future, thinking about what's next, or reflecting on what happened in the past. But when you're traveling, especially alone, you can't afford to live like that. You have to be in the moment. I learned to appreciate the small moments, the quiet sunsets in New Zealand, The laughter of children in a village in Uganda, the way the streets of Paris feel alive at night. Those were the moments that truly shaped my journey. They reminded me that life isn't about rushing from one thing to the next, but about appreciating what's right in front of you. Traveling alone, especially in unfamiliar places, brings out your deepest fears. I'm not talking about the fear of getting lost, though that happened plenty of times, but the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of not knowing what's next, the fear of being far away from home with no one to lean on. But with each new country, each new city, I learned to face those fears head on. There was a time in Morocco when I got caught in a sandstorm while hiking in the desert. It was terrifying. I thought I was going to get lost in the vast, endless desert, but I didn't. I found my way back. And in that moment, I realized that fear isn't something that needs to control you. It's something you can face, overcome, and learn from. As I traveled, I began to see the world as a tapestry of diverse cultures, each with its own story to tell. From the ancient temples of Egypt to the modern skyscrapers of Singapore, each place had its own history, values, and way of life. What struck me the most was how people from different cultures view the world through such different lenses. Yet there are universal themes that tie us all together: family, love, respect, and community. These are values that transcend borders. No matter where I went, I saw people living by these principles, albeit in different ways. One of my most eye-opening experiences was in the Middle East, where I had the opportunity to stay with a local family in Jordan. Despite the political tension in the region, I found that the people were warm, hospitable, and eager to share their culture and food with me. The world wasn't as divided as the media made it seem. It's often the narratives we're told that shape our perceptions. If we take the time to listen and learn, we'll find that people are far more similar than we think. The most profound change that happened during my travels was within myself. The journey was not just about discovering the world, but also about discovering who I am. When you travel, you don't just see new places, you see new parts of yourself. I learned that I am more adaptable than I ever thought possible. I learned how to be alone without feeling lonely. I learned how to trust my instincts and embrace uncertainty. I learned how to be independent while also recognizing the importance of human connection. I realized that all the answers I had been searching for were inside me all along. I didn't need to go halfway across the world to find myself, but the journey helped me uncover those answers in a way that was impossible to do by staying in the same place. Before my travels, I was always afraid of the unknown. I was cautious, hesitant to step outside my comfort zone. But after spending a year traveling the world, I learned that the unknown isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. The world is not as scary as we think. In fact, it's full of beauty, kindness, and unexpected wonders. Yes, there are challenges and risks, but there are also so many opportunities for growth and connection. The world isn't as vast and uncharted as we make it seem. It's a place waiting to be explored, understood, and appreciated. After a year of traveling, I returned home with a new perspective on life. The world is smaller than we think, and the connections we make are what truly matter. I didn't just learn about different cultures, I learned about myself. I learned that life is about embracing uncertainty, trusting others, and being open to the world around us. As I sit here, reflecting on my journey, I realize that this adventure was just the beginning. The lessons I learned, the people I met, and the experiences I had will stay with me forever. And I hope that, by sharing my story, you'll be inspired to embark on your own journey, whether it's across the globe or within your own heart. because the world is waiting for you to discover it. And in the process, you might just discover yourself.